Okay, starting to remove the swing arm. I took this cover off and I think I can get that axle or the pivot arm out if I turn the flat this way. It's going to be really close, otherwise I'll just undo these two bolts and lower it down a little bit. But under the back here you have to undo the brake hose. There's one clamp right here. There's another one at the back, so I'm just going to pry it open there a little bit. Like that. Yeah, so I think I'm ready to tap that out. Oh, I could undo this. I have to lift this up to undo this one here. I think I'll leave it. I was looking online last night, and yeah, all the black tank ones, they follow this line down here, and you can feel a ridge here, and there's no gold pinstriping. Now this is a. No, I think somebody's painted that. I think what happens with a lot of these, yeah, something doesn't feel quite right there, I think, is that these signal lights, if they're not adjusted right, they'll bang right into the tank in here. And I wonder if somebody's dinged this up and painted it. I don't know. It's too bad if it is the case, but it looks pretty good like that anyways. Okay, I'm gonna bang that out. Got a rubber mallet. Just on the edge of that. Like I say, it moves freely, so it's not seized, which was my big worry. Whoa. Yeah, I'm gonna have to undo a couple bolts here, I think. Actually, these two are bolted together. And there's a bolt there. So there's two bolts down here to take these pipes off after you undo the two clamps. And these two clamps look pretty good. Should be able to come off. But then you got this pin in here. Looks like there should be a cotter pin in there locking that in. And then the hose clamps up at the front, which are pretty rusty. It's really close to coming off there. Now, what if I undid this rubber mount? What if I undid that? Yeah, there's one bolt here, one at the bottom. That would give me play to go up. If you can get a socket in there. Probably should look in the manual. There's a bunch of leaves packed down in here as well too I want to clean out. So I guess I'm taking her apart. That looks like a 9/16 15 millimeter. Just getting deeper and deeper. And what I can see about the swing arm is the weirdest setup I've ever seen before. And the old British bikes, the Nortons, were really weird. They had double seals on either side, and they were actually oil fed, and you had to pump oil into them. This one here looks like there's a bushing on this side and then a double tapered roller bearing on the other side. That's kind of the load side over there with the pulley. I don't know how this is going to come off. That one's loose. That one's loose. Doesn't mean it's going to come off though. I didn't want to do this, but holy moly. There's one more bolt down at the bottom. Oh. Another bolt at the bottom over here too. I may as well do that one here. There's a bar at the bottom with the two bolts in it in the rubber mounts. If I can slide that bar forward, then this will drop. Put a little oil on it. There. This thing is like solid as a rock. We'll take it right out. Just that one pin or whatever that is right there. Just that one pin right there. It looks like a 12 mil. And I think if I lift the swing arm up, I can get that out. That's, I think, the only thing holding this up right now. Thirteen mils, a little bigger than half inch. Half inch it might be, but everything's metal. So now that whole stud's turning, so now I gotta stick a pin in there. I'm just sticking this in there. Okay. I'm just going to tap that pin out. Hope it goes together easier than it's coming apart. Just can't get my hand in here. There we go. There's that pin. There's the nut. Okay, that drops it down a little bit. Okay, I gotta loosen the front clamp. This front exhaust clamp, this looks like a 13 mil too. Oh, this is really rusty. Oh, thought I was gonna break it. It's loosened off. Okay, everything is loosened off. So I just gotta pry this down enough to get that out. Now it's moving. Oh, I need to tap it from the other side. No rust on that at all. None whatsoever. Brake went off of there. That's not good. Here's the axle. So this one just has a bushing in it on this side. And that's that bushing right there. I should really look in the manual and see what the hell I'm doing. And then this side is a double bearing, which I thought I'm pretty sure it's a tapered roller, one this way and one that way, and I will repack that. It just pivots, so it's not like it's spinning 100 miles an hour or anything. But anyways, I can clean this all up and then figure out what I'm going to do with this shaft. So this shaft can only go in one way. It has to go in this way. There's the other bushing there where it comes out. I should probably take this cover off. It's only 3 screws. Pretty much got this bike half disassembled. I gotta figure it out because my only choice is to take this thing down 3/16. I'm just checking out what my options are here. I thought maybe I could machine this down, take off 1/8 of an inch here. So I have lots of nut surface on here. But this is shouldered. That's shouldered right there. Oh, that actually isn't hitting there. I've got about more than 1/16 of an inch there. But then that brings this out farther, but I could always prune that down. Yeah, you could see the old line. Because I could take that down there and then the outside a little bit too. I think I'm just going to work on the outside. Okay, I just machined off maybe 3/16 of an inch there. I rounded the corner there a little bit, so a 30mm socket will still fit on there. Squared that up. I'm sure that's just a nut on there welded. Probably Loctite and welded on there. So let's try it now. That looks a lot better. And let me put this phone down, see if I can put that on. Lots of room. I can move the shaft about 1/8 of an inch, so I guess I didn't need to take off very much at all. And I'm sure the other side's going to be fine on there, but yeah, that'll look a lot better. Okay, I'm going to see about these bearings here, about greasing them up and then cleaning this thing back up. Lots of room. Just stick a screwdriver in here and pop that off, or bang it out. There's the two bearings, and there's the inner races. Looks like it's held in with a clip. There's a clip in the center of the two of them, I guess. Six and five. Left spacer, right spacer on the rubber. Both look like they're replaceable if they get worn out. Okay, we learned something here. Here's the two bearings. There's a C-clip kind of spacer in the center. And how this works is you pack the bearings first, you push it in against the C-clip, and then you push the race in from the outside. So they're locked in there as a unit. It says right here, remove left pivot bearing assembly from fork only if replacement is required. The complete bearing assembly must be replaced as a unit when replacement is necessary. Do not intermix bearing components. So, yeah, there's no taking this apart, repacking it, and then reassembling it according to this. I'm sure you could in an emergency if you had to, if you were stuck. But like I say, there's 16,000 miles on this bike. That one turns good. Like they look like mint. I just cleaned them up a little bit. This side's a bushing that you can replace, but with 16,000 miles on it, there's a lot of life left in that. So I'm leaving that. No point in screwing around with that at all. Main thing now is just to get this all cleaned up. Well, this is pretty rough casting there. It's actually even sharp. I might give that a little Dremel just to kind of clean that up a little bit. It's actually a rough casting there. And then polish this all up. I'm not going to polish it like I am the rims, but I'm gonna scrub it and really clean it up good. And then put that back together. Get the wheel put on Tuesday. Oh, I got to do the brakes before I can put the wheel back on. The rear brakes. So I got to clean this first, and then I'm gonna pull apart these brakes. Hopefully I can get the pistons out. I watched a video on that. They're pretty tricky, but I've got a couple tricks up my sleeve I use as well too. So we'll see if I can get that apart. Okay, back to work. Video number 6, I think, on this V-rod. I kind of ground down those sharp burrs on there a little bit. And I lubed up this bushing. It was dry. The axle came out beautiful. There was no rust on it at all, but there also was no lubrication on it at all. And made sure these were turning freely. They're really stiff, but they turn freely. So I think I'm ready to put that back in, get it torqued in, get the shocks back on. I've been reading the manual about the shocks. Putting these bolts back in. They're supposed to be Harley anti-seize grease on them. Well, just some sort of grease. I've got anti-seize I'll put on them. They're all bone dry, and that's factory. Even when I took this rear axle out, there was nothing on that. So everything I'm putting back together, I'm going to lube up a little bit. And these bolts here were really stuck, like they were Loctited or something. So I'm just going to clean them up and torque them. I don't believe they need to be Loctited. Okay, let's get to work on this. Okay, let's get the axle down here. I got the bushings all lubed up on either side. cleaned up the swing arm. There's not too much I can do with it. I just want to strip it down. So, this is going to go like this. Make me work, will ya? Okay. Get that in there. I hope I got that lined up. Rubber mallet. Make sure I get the belt in there. That. There we go. Make sure you get that belt over top. Okay, that should be it. Put the nut on, torque that down. I can't get this. And then start getting the exhaust and everything back together. Oh, I was looking over for this nut. Okay, let's get that on there. Going to torque it to, it says 45 to 55 pounds. Let's put it at 50. I think that's at 50 right now. Okay, that's torqued in. When I had the shaft out, you check for any forward movement or side to side free play. All looks good. The whole goal of this exercise was to put these things on. It's gonna fit on there now. Just looks like it should have come that way. one connector under here. Snaps in right there. And there's another one here. And another one here. I gotta pinch them closed again. Where's my knee pad? Okay, there's that one. Okay, you're in my way. I gotta get in there and pinch those tight. Okay, next I'm gonna get the exhaust all bolted back in there. It's kind of loose. And the first thing is I want to get that pin in there before I get anything else tightened up. I'm gonna put a little grease on it and see if I can get it back in there while the swing arm's loose. I'm going to put a little blue Loctite on this. I think there was something on there before. And I think a little bit of white grease on here. Not very much. It's just enough to keep it from getting corroded. Okay, somehow I gotta get this into there. Use some needle nose pliers. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna lift the exhaust up. That's in there. Where's the nut? There's the nut right there. Oh, there it is right there. If I get my fingers on it in there, maybe. Just, I got big hands. Just get the thread started. Get my fingertips. Come on, just about got ya. There we go. Okay. Okay, that's done. Now I tighten up all the exhaust components. Here's the exhaust here. There's one piece I kind of fell out when I took the exhaust off, and I couldn't remember which way it goes. I figured I'd figure it out. Oh yeah, this piece right here, number 25. It's a little bent piece of metal. And I'll show you underneath the bike here. This piece right here, I started to put it in this way. Actually, I started to put it in this way thinking that that's a little lip a little lip's going to hold it in there, but no, it doesn't do anything. But what it shows is it going this way. Take this off. It shows it going like this. It's going towards the back of the bike there, right? Here's the bike, there's the front, just so you get some orientation. So it goes like that. And this long steel bar I had to pull out, and it slides through these two rubbers. It's U-shaped, so the U's go down, has to line into here. Got these two tightened up, these two clamps, and the front clamp tightened up. Now I got two more bolts on the top. While I'm under here, I noticed, can you see it back in here? Where are we there? Yeah, to me I think that's an oil pressure switch, but I can double check it. I see a couple hard lines going to it. Just note to self, someday if those wires come off or become corroded, that's the issue under there. Okay, I got the clamps all tightened up. I got the heat shield back on. I got the right shock back on. I greased these shafts with anti-seize. That's what it says according to the, it's supposed to be Harley anti-seize, but anti-seize lubricant of some type. Even if you don't even have that, axle grease, any kind of grease. These things come bone dry from the factory. There was nothing on them. There was nothing on the axle shaft, nothing on the pivot bolt here for the swing arm. They're all bone dry. And it's kind of luckily I'm going through this bike thoroughly, because normally you would never check that kind of stuff. So that's all back together. The left shock, I've just got it mounted in here loosely. This is the last piece to go on because the bolt is threaded into the chain guard. So I have to get the wheel in before that. And there's the wheel. I got the brand new tire on there. I got them all polished up. And these tires come pretty slick when you get the new. I'm actually going to scrub it down with some Dawn soap first with a scrub brush. But you can scrub it on the road just doing twisties back and forth like this a little bit. You want to at least get 15, 20 miles or so on those, or 15, 20 minutes anyways on those tires before you lead into a corner. You'll slide right out. It's like butter on them. And I've seen it once on another guy's video. Within seconds of having the new tire put on, he went to burn out of a parking lot and dropped it. And then it happened here in Sarnia at the Corey's, same thing. He put a tire in, I said, hey, those tires are slick because they're coated. They're coated with, might be some kind of a Teflon oil or something like that to keep the rubber from drying out. Well, it's, it could be hanging in a guy's shop for a year or two before it's sold. So I think it's just some kind of a lubricant. So you got to really wash them off and scrub them, even drive in some gravel or sand, and just lean into the corners, heat them up, and get that burnt off. It burns off pretty quick. Okay, so I can't put the wheel on until I tackle the brakes. And these back brakes worked, but at this point, with the .4 brake fluid that appears to be in them, because it's all yellow brake fluid, and .5 synthetic is purple silicone brake fluid. They all should be purple. And there's a scam company. Man, there's so many scams out there. I almost got scammed again on Facebook this weekend for a V-Rod. I'm going to warn everybody right now, because everybody who's watching this video owns a V-Rod more than likely, that there is at least one V-Rod group on Facebook, and it's called V-Rod Parts and Swap or something like that, like parts for sale or swap. Changes his name because he keeps getting caught, so he keeps changing the name, and Facebook lets him get away with it. And he almost had me sucked in. But I was going to buy the original seat, looked like mint condition, with the 100th anniversary in here, and I think it wanted $300, and it looked like brand new. This seat here is actually brand new off of 2002. And then there was something else I was going to get off him. And, before he gets back to you, I guaranteed he searched my profile and knew that I was Canadian, and he goes, hey, he goes, message me and friend me, and we'll figure out how you can buy the seat from me. And the tank cover. I wanted to get a solid aluminum tank cover. And how the scam goes is he goes, yeah, I'm in Thunder Bay, and you're interested in buying some parts. And I go, hey, that's pretty cool. I used to live there in Thunder Bay. Lived on Bethune Street, and I went to Confederation College there and all that. You know, and I thought that was pretty neat. He lives in Ontario. And I pull up his profile, you know, once he friends me and all that. And there's only 4 pictures. 3 of them of V-Rods, and 1 of them of Jesus Christ, like a painting. That gets me suspicious right there. No friends on there. Yeah, I think there were 0 friends. And no other photos, no other information, no city he's from. And this guy is supposed to be the administrator for this web forum group on Facebook. And then I start looking through all the ads on Facebook, and more than like 50% of them are his name, and then a couple other guys' names on there. And I see all kinds of people messaging him for information on the parts and how much he wants for them. And he goes, oh, just friend me, and he'll give you the details. So anyways, he told me Thunder Bay, and we agreed on a price, because I was going to swap him this seat for his seat and something else. I think those mirrors I got there for like $150. Just get rid of those things. That's about what I paid. I didn't pay that much for them. And take that off the price of the seat I was going to get off him, and the tank cover. And so I think I was going to owe him $300 for the new tank cover and the original tank cover, original seat, something like that, $250, $300. And he goes, okay, just ship me the parts. You pay for the shipping for the parts to me that I'm going to get off you, and I'll pay for the shipping for the parts that he's going to send to me. I go, that's okay. I said, that's good. So I sent him my address, and I go, what's your address? I had to ask him twice. And finally, because he finally sends me this address, and it's in Thunder Bay on, is it Isabella Street? And I'm thinking, Isabella Street? I haven't lived in Thunder Bay in 45 years, or over 40 years. I'm thinking, that's the street my brother lived on. I go, no way. And so I pull up on Google Maps and everything, and it is this street. I think he just lived off it, and but the address he gave me was at the other end. It was 216, he said. Well, I pull it up on. I'm a realtor. I can pull up any address in Ontario and tell you who owns it, pretty much when they bought it and everything about it. So I try to pull up that address. It doesn't come up. Nothing comes up. Nothing's coming up. So I go to Google Maps. I'm going to walk the street and look at the house numbers. There's no such thing as 216 Isabella Street. So red flags are just going off all over the place here. And I kind of messaged him back, say, hey, I can't find 216 Isabella Street. And he goes, it's there. It'll go to my mailbox, something like that, he says. And he said, just send it to the money to my email address here through bank e-transfer. And I'm not good at this point, but I go, okay. And just to keep him busy, because now I'm going back onto his forum. First of all, I went into Google search, and I typed in his name without the middle letter R. And it's a weird name. It's like Iranium, the first name, and the last name Steve. And I typed it, and you always type in the word fraud at the end. Boom, popped up on Google search, and a whole bunch of guys there from the United States, Africa, Australia, all over trying to buy parts off this guy. They send him money. Like one guy says, I lost $300 US. Another guy, I lost $350. He said the parts never come in. He never returns your calls. Then they block you. And he said the whole thing's a fraud. The whole thing's a scam. So I'm playing along with them. I opened up 2 Facebooks on my browser. I got 2 screens and everything. I'm going in there, and I'm cutting and pasting what I found on Google search there about this fraud. And I put it right on his forum, and then I start going into replying to all the guys that are looking at buying parts off him. And I'm cutting and pasting. I go, if it's Riley's trying to buy a a set of exhaust off like that, and he's inquired all in the last couple of days. I can see how many hours these guys have been replying to him, so I know it's all current. And I'm replying to them all. I'm saying, hey, this is fraud. Read this. Hey, this guy's fraud. Hey, read this. I pay posting. I've got to about 5 or 6 guys I started to warn, and then boom, they shut me right down. And so I reported to Facebook. I said, this is a fraud thing. And before Facebook could even investigate it, he'd already gone in and changed the name of the group. Like it was like V-Rod Parts and Swap, and then he changed it to Parts and Swap V-Rod, reversed or something like that, or Parts and Sales for V-Rods. Just changed the wording slightly, and it kept going because it was the same number of subscribers that switched over. And then, but when I checked, you can check when the group became built, and it's in October 2024. So it just switched, the same day. And then Facebook just said, well, we don't see anything suspicious here, and we'll keep an eye on it, or let us know if there's anything else. And they didn't do it. They don't do anything. And that's what I heard from other people on there. Facebook doesn't do anything. You can imagine how much money these guys are raking in, because they're putting all brand new parts on there, tons of them on there, and good parts and cheap prices, like a couple $100, for stuff. Beautiful stuff. So they're taking some really good pictures and claiming, he's going alias by, I think, 16 different names on there. So they're all 16 different fake Facebook accounts. And it could be just one man running this whole operation, or it could be 3 or 4 of them with different names, or messaging these people. But if he just gets 1 or 2 guys a day, he's making like $500 or $600 a day. He almost had me. I was this close to sending that money to him, because I figured, it's a V-Rod group, and he's an administrator. Obviously, he's going to be honest. He's got Jesus Christ on his homepage. The whole thing just started adding up. Nope. Never going to do that again, unless it's somebody local, right here in the area. Okay, enough of that. Just be careful buying parts on there. And where was I? Here's another scam. I was on Amazon last year. I bought this. This brake fluid, like in Canada, it's like $30. It's gone way up in price, $27, $29, $30. Might be more this year, I don't know, for silicone brake fluid .5. So I was looking everywhere for cheaper, so I found this on Amazon .5. Then I got it and I opened it up, and it's yellow, it's just clear. And I go, that's not .5, and I'm looking at it, it says .5. It says .5.1. That's the name of the company. They named the company .5.1, and if you read the fine print down here, it says non-silicone, so it's not a silicone-based brake fluid, and it says motor vehicle brake fluid .3 and .4 compatible. What a scam that was. And then I paid $17 for this. I thought, that's way cheaper than buying those for $27. But .3, .4, I should be able to buy this thing for like $10. $8, $9, $10. So I got ripped off on that. Probably could have sent it back, but it sat around for a month or 2 before I used it. But it's just one scam after another, and it's just unbelievable. Okay, I'm gonna end this video. I already went in and had my shower and shave, and got the V-Rod right back there. I'm gonna call it a video for today. And I've got this finished, but this video is an hour long now, so I've got another half hour, 45 minutes in video I'll put out maybe tomorrow. But let's call it a day today, and get another video up. Kind of, hopefully everybody's learning a little bit about these V-Rods as I do it, because I'm not finding anything on the internet. And if there is something on the internet, it's not very detailed. They just kind of have done the job and show you, there's, you did it, it's not very detailed on how to do stuff. So that's what I'm trying to do, trying to show my mistakes and finds, and trying to do it without looking at the manual too much, because that's what most people are going to do. And then use the manual as a reference, and the parts breakdown as well too. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Should be another video, and if not tomorrow, the next day. I want to get this bike back together, get it down there, and get it safetied right away. Okay.